Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Yes. On Wednesday, ANC party and its party leader Musalia Mudavadi wrote to the registrar of political parties seeking to withdraw the membership of ANC party from the NASA coalition. And yesterday, Friday, Kalonzo Musyoka was also to write to the registrar of political party to withdraw the membership of Wiper Party from the NASA coalition. But the information reaching us suggests that Raila Amolo Odinga might have intervened and Kalonzo Musyoka might have put that on hold temporarily. So from behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, it seems that these people are talking. Even though in public, they are saying of how they cannot work together, behind the scenes, these two top politicians are talking. There are discussions going on behind the scenes. And also something comes out very, very clearly, ladies and gentlemen, that Raila Amolo Odinga is very, very keen on having Kalonzo Musyoka on his political side. And also Kalonzo Musyoka seems to be also very, very reluctant to dump Raila Amolo Odinga. These two politicians seems to be still embracing one another behind the scenes. So in this video today, I want us to analyze and see exactly what might be happening behind the scenes. Why is Raila Odinga very, very keen on making sure that come what may, Kalonzo is on his side? And Kalonzo Musyoka also seems to be very reluctant of dumping Raila Amolo Odinga. What might be the reason for all this? Number one, I believe there are some reasons for this, and I've summarized the reasons into 5 main points. So the first point, I believe Raila might be very, very keen on working with Kalonzo Musyoka is because Kalonzo Musyoka controls a good portion of the Kaba vote. Raila's political strategies and Raila himself, they believe that if they have Kalonzo on their side, then they have a very good portion or percentage of the Kamba vote. So Raila is not very, very keen in losing that Kamba vote. Because in 2017 elections, from the 3 Ukambani counties of Machakos, Makueni, and Kitui, Raila got about 900,000 votes. So this is the vote, ladies and gentlemen, Raila is still very, very keen on retaining. And he knows that if he has Kalonzo on his side, then he can retain that kind of a vote. That comes out as the first political reason. Secondly, we know for a fact that the President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wants a united handshake team to produce one presidential candidate. And from information we've also learned is that the president's men might have lost hope on Musalia Mudavadi, because Musalia Mudavadi has been playing hardball for some months now. So the president handlers are of a strong opinion that in the absence of a Musalia Mudavadi, then Raila must do all it takes to make sure that Kalonzo Musyoka is on his side. So there might also be some pressure from above, pressurizing Kalonzo Musyoka and also Raila Amolo Odinga to work together. That can be also the reason as to why these two politicians, even though in public they are saying they might not work with one another, it seems that they are still interested in talking with one another. There might be a pressure from above, most likely from the president himself. And then the third reason, ladies and gentlemen, I also believe that Kalonzo is a seasoned politician. Kalonzo, just as I've been mentioning in this YouTube channel, has got a very long nose for smelling where the next government is because of his experience in politics. He has been in the political court for now over 10 years. And Kalonzo, from where I sit, he is very reluctant to go to the opposition. So he wants to identify himself with the government because he believes that the system and the government largely determines who forms the next government. So Kalonzo is also very reluctant to decamp from the government side. And the government side seems the government side seems that they might have settled on a Raila Amolo Odinga candidature. So Kalonzo Musyoka is now forced, or rather is left with no option but still to hang around Raila Amolo Odinga, because that might be the government's candidate in next year's general election. And then the fourth reason I believe Kalonzo and Raila might still be willing to work together, or they are still hanging around one another, is because of the political party funding. We know that Raila has already initiated some kind of arbitration by the Register of Political Parties for some political party funding. So I believe that's also one reason that is keeping Kalonzo hanging around Raila Amolo Odinga. Because from where Raila Amolo Odinga sits, giving Wiper Party or even ANC or even Ford Kenya some little money or a portion of the funds ODM received from the political party funding is not a big issue. So Raila might also be toying with the idea or a possibility of dividing or rather sharing the money that ODM want with their coalition partners in NASA. That might also be helping in keeping Kalonzo Musyoka still hanging around Raila Amolo Odinga. And then fifthly, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at Kalonzo Musyoka pretty well, Kalonzo, besides the geographical regional balancing, Kalonzo brings what we call inclusivity. Because if you look all the NASA principal, Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi, they all come from Western. Raila also comes from Nyanza, just part of Western. So in terms of regional balance, Kalonzo comes from Eastern. Having Kalonzo on your side brings a very good regional balance in terms of both geographical map of Kenya and also ethnic regional balancing. Because Raila and Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula, they seem to come from one area. And Luyas are somehow being viewed as people from the same kind of a pot. But now if you look at Kambas and Luos are really not very much related. So to have Kalonzo on your side is bringing the kind of regional balancing and also the geographical kind of balancing, which is good for any coalition. And then on top of that, Raila might also be very, very keen on Kalonzo Musyoka more than any other of these OCA or NASA principles, because if you look at Western, where Musalia Mudavadi comes from, or even Wetangula, Raila has got a very good portion of the votes there. So even without Musalia Mudavadi or even Moses Masika Wetangula, Raila can by himself get votes from that part of the country. He can still reach out to the people and the people will still vote for Raila Amolo Odinga. But that's very different from Ukambani. Because without Kalonzo Musyoka, it can be very, very hard for Raila Odinga to convince the Kambas to vote for him. As in the case of Luya or the Mulembe Nation, without Musalia Mudavadi or Wetangula, Raila will still convince the people there to vote for him. So Raila, according to his calculation, he already knows that he has Western, he has Nyanza, he has Coast, but now he wants to bring in the Kamba vote. And he can only do that if he has Kalonzo Musyoka on his side. And now after bagging Kalonzo Musyoka and Western, and then Raila, if he can only manage about half of Mount Kenya vote, then Raila is easily going to win the presidency. Very, very easily. And I believe that's the reason as to why Raila is very, very keen on having Kalonzo Musyoka on his side more than any other of the NASA principles. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude it there for today. If you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, tap on the subscription button. Kindly give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana.